Well, hey, we're going to spend some time talking about the entertainment business here in Omaha, and we have with us from Main Street Theaters owner Bill Barstow and Director of Communications Patrick White. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. Yeah. So, Bill, first of all, I want to officially congratulate you. ACX 12, your brand new theater located west of 204th Street, south of Q, is up and running. It's open. Business is coming back as Hollywood is cranking out the motion pictures again. And Trent and I have had the opportunity to go there. The place is beautiful.
Well, thank you. And it's obviously getting it open and getting it running full speed has been a bit of a challenge over the last 12, 18 months. So, yeah, it's great, and we love seeing it. And certainly with Spider-Man opening this past week, you get to see what it's really going to do. And so it's building up to this. The next 2 to 3 weeks for us in the industry are some of our busiest weeks of the year, and it's when we can kind of crank stuff. So to watch audiences starting on Thursday night, and then last night, virtually every showing sold out. Was a lot of fun to watch. I actually was driving through the parking lot and I was videoing the 100% full parking lot and people streaming in. It was just it's a validation of something that, when we talk about Grow Omaha and that corridor down 204th Street is exploding. And, pandemic, it may slow things down a little bit, but we're certainly really, really, it's just fun to watch what's happening with it. We're so happy to be a part of it.
Well, we're huge fans, and it is my favorite theater. We don't live too far away from it, but we would have driven a lot farther. Patrick, give us an idea of ACX 12 Plus and what makes it unique and what makes it the best theater in Omaha.
Well, in Auditorium 1, we have our 70-foot wide screen, 50 feet tall. We've got laser projection technology, the only theater in Omaha right now to have that technology, Dolby Atmos sound. The thing that I think
60 speakers, isn't it?
60 speakers, yeah, all around you, above, around, behind the screen. It's incredible.
And a lot of movies you can pinpoint which speaker.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
So you really feel like you're in the action.
Yeah, the way people are using sound design in films today it's fascinating.
Seeing James Bond there was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Trent and I and our wives, Amy and Stephanie, we all went and watched James Bond there with you guys together, and that was an amazing experience.
What a blast, right? Yeah.
Plus, James Bond movies are the best to see it in that theater. But let me go back to something. You said something that a lot of people may have missed.
Yeah.
You said a 50-foot tall screen.
Yes,
that's
70-foot wide screen.
Okay, so that's about the equivalent of about a 4.5-story building.
Yeah, exactly.
A little
yes.
perspective.
Yeah.
That's just the screen. And this is, this, Patrick, but Trenton and I did a little Grow Omaha presentation to Metro Omaha Builders Association, which had rented out that big theater a month or two ago. And I had a PowerPoint, with some pictures of projects. And so I'm down there doing the presentation, and I'm standing there, I'm like, if you ever want to feel small, stand next to a 50-foot tall PowerPoint.
Oh, and you feel powerful in that situation too, though.
Having
that presentation up there, it's incredible. We talked about recently with our staff, actually, imagine a 70-inch wide TV next to this thing. It just is totally incomparable. So, yeah, it's an incredible experience for all our guests.
Bill, talk about the backlot restaurant, which is part of this complex.
So in our industry, there's a lot of dine-in and tying food and bev sales to the entertainment experience. And our version of that was what we did out there, where we put that restaurant that has its very own identity. We had to have a North Star, and our North Star was a Detroit-style pizza. It was a signature food that a lot of people liked, and
you grew up on.
And we grew up on. It was just pizza to us, but it was something you could stand behind and push out there. And when we put the restaurant sitting up on the corner, if you think about it, when you pull up to that restaurant, you've got your own parking. You may not want to be part of
separate entrance.
Separate entrance, everything else. In fact, when you're in there, you might want to choose an experience that you don't even know that theater's there. So one of the comments we get a lot is, I didn't expect this. I didn't realize it would be this nice. I didn't, that kind of thing. And we love that. We love surprising people, but it was all designed to be that way. There were a lot of people that worked in the background on that, from the guys at HBA and IDF doing our interiors and everybody, to make that a really cool experience. So we are in a couple of different businesses. The one that everybody thinks we're in is the movie business. It's something that I grew up on. It's something that we do, but we're also in the food and bev business, and the ability to tie those two together into one entertainment piece. So we see it as it rounds out everything. We didn't just want to do food and bev. We wanted something you could really point to. I think our cocktail program from Tyler Schaefer from Inkwell is working really heavy on that. He's doing an amazing job. So as all these quality pieces come together, they wrap themselves around the movie-going experience. And as important as that is, and what that means to all of us, right? Movie-going to all of us means something very unique and very specific. We want to add to that. So whether it be the events that we do or the gaming environments that are going to be coming along, and so the food and the cocktails, it's all coming together into one big thing. It's no longer just going to see James Bond. It just isn't. We want to control that environment from start to finish.
And you talk about Backlot. It is a premium menu type restaurant. It's so good, and not only the food but the cocktails.
Yeah,
I was there, which is how I judge a restaurant personally. I was there, I think, 1 or 2 Fridays ago, and the kids and Stephanie and I had a dinner there, and I ordered, the bartender had a cocktail special. It was a maple syrup, bacon-infused old-fashioned, whatever. I'm still dreaming about it. I think you need to make it permanent. It was so good.
Oh, it's going to be permanent. And Tyler Schaefer is the guy behind all that, and Tyler's absolutely amazing. And so it's fun to watch that happen. And that was a piece that we really wanted to develop. And I would say in hindsight, I've looked at that and said that was a really understated piece. And when you can combine that experience, and I think the bartenders and the people that Tyler has managed to train in his system really, really adds to it. You can't just throw that in there. There better be passion behind it. There better be passion behind the food. There better be passion behind the bar. And that's all separate to the passion that's behind the the ices and the popcorn. I mean, we choose popcorn machines very specifically. We choose lots of things very specifically to all come into one event.
Well, we're talking about movie theaters and restaurants and entertainment with Bill Barstow and Patrick White from Main Street Theaters, which owns ACX 12, Backlot, and other theaters. Right. And one of the great things about Axtell Village is the entertainment and retail. Not the least of which is the Axtell Cinema. Speaking of which, we have the owner of Main Street Theaters, which has Axtell Cinema and other theaters, Bill Barstow with us, and Patrick White, Director of Communications. Let's talk a little bit about Axtell Cinema. That's been there for several years now. A lot of people love it.
10 years to be exact.
Has it been that long?
Wow.
12/10 of 2010. Somebody.
So 11.
Is it? Yeah. How about that math?
Yeah.
Math is hard.
One to grow on.
Soon 12.
Really what's interesting about that was we get so busy doing stuff. Somebody came to us and said, "Hey, what are you doing for your big birthday party?" And I was like, Spider-Man. That's it. We're going to do Spider-Man. But no, Axtell Village has been an amazing thing. I think what Jay Noddle has done on their portion, and certainly John Hughes and Magnum Development, Joe Kudelek and those guys, it's been fun to watch that grow. It's fun to be there. I was just saying in the break that my wife and I had the luxury of staying in the village for a few days last week and enjoying that lifestyle. And it really is a cool lifestyle. It's we're talking about all these different little development areas, but I think what Axtell Cinema and Backlot Tap House bring to the village is part of that entertainment experience, part of that magnet that pulls you into the village.
And what's interesting about Axtell Village is it's the best example, certainly in Omaha, but in a lot of communities where it is mixed use, where you've got now you have ownership. There's condos there, there's apartments, there's retail, there's office, there's entertainment, and you've got it. It's all walkable. You got the park there. You got all the programming that's going on, and pop up things. You got a new Indian restaurant coming in. You just don't see that anywhere else.
Lisa Bachman with Noddle does a great job of organizing a lot of that and making sure that all those different events are going on. And I think there are times, we were in there very early, and I look at some pictures of when we were there and nothing else was there. And, we needed more density, right? We needed more opportunity to do things. I think Baxter Arena, you may not think about it, but certainly hockey or a big event that draws thousands is impressive. But even adding the softball and baseball, what we see in bumps, and take a restaurant, for instance. Let's say you get an extra 10 tables because there was a baseball game or a softball game. That's significant when you add that up. It really is significant. And so all those things in conjunction, I think, Noddle's doing a great job on Zone 6, I believe they call it, with adding all the different experiences over by Interrail and things. But Axtell Cinema is the biggest draw in Axtell Village by far. In fact, I think we outdraw Baxter Arena. I mean, that's the kind of numbers that pull into that building. And I think sometimes, I don't know if we get the full credit or people appreciate how much of a draw Axtell Cinema is. People choosing to come into the village to spend a lot of money, right? Hard-earned money to watch movies and have entertainment experience. So we're very proud of what we bring to the village. And I think, it's as the village continues to grow, and I think it's continuing to grow, I think we're getting a little bit younger. I think Jay's doing a great job of doing some demographic things there, and we're certainly a big supporter of what they're doing.
UNO's graduation, I was down there for lunch and touring Office Space, and it was amazing to see the crowds and people with their gowns on, their caps, and they just filter in and they come across the street and they fill up the village. We were talking about earlier about that big screen experience out at ACX, the 7-story wide, 5-story tall screen out west, which is very impressive. But there's also number 4, which is our ACX Auditorium at Axtell Cinema, is also a really cool experience. And I have a good friend who works in the industry, worldwide company that does nothing but theaters, and he tells me every time I see him, his favorite spot to watch a movie is Auditorium number 4 at Axtell Cinema. He takes that over IMAX. He takes that over any of these crazy sensory experiences. He thinks the design of that room, which is kind of round, in some ways we sort of modeled that over some other famous theaters that were in Omaha to try and give that cool feel. And Patrick, you were saying you stopped in there last night just to watch the Spider-Man crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in there last night, and the crowd was electric. It was incredible, and I agree. Number 4 is still a fantastic experience for our guests. Spider-Man is one to certainly see this weekend and see it with a big crowd because there are a lot of fun surprises. No spoilers, of course, but a lot of fun surprises for our guests, and you're going to want to be surrounded by people cheering and laughing. It was an incredible movie experience, and it was just awesome to be back in there.
Well, gentlemen, it's been pleasant having you here on the show today talking about some of our favorite subjects, movies and going out for dinner and lunch. So thank you to both of you for everything you're doing to make Omaha a more fun and enjoyable place. And thank you also, Bill, to you and your colleagues for sticking things out during the last year and a half, which was so tough on your industry, because now people are coming back and they're enjoying businesses like ACX 12, like Axtell Cinema, and Backlot Tap House and Pizza. So guys, thanks so much.
Thanks for the opportunity. We love talking about it.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being there.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that's Bill Barstow, owner of Main Street Theaters, and Patrick White, Director of Communications.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.